it's definitely a beautiful game. I just love it's the different aspects of it. You get to see young children trying something, doing something miraculous. It might only happen once in their life, but they've done it. That's what makes it beautiful, the smiles on their faces when they achieve something that they've tried to do.
Come on, you broken boys! Come on, you broken boys! Run! Come on!
Just seeing him out there enjoying himself, it means a massive amount to me, and proud of him no matter what happens there today. You're hoping that he'll go out and play his best.
For me, confidence. You're always going to have a player that's better at doing tricks. You're always going to have a player that's solid on tackles. You're always going to have a player that has an eye for goal. But for me, if you build a team around confidence, you'll achieve what you need to achieve on the pitch.
We're just going for the cup.
The beautiful game, football. For many young boys and girls, the dream to play the game professionally. But the dream sometimes can be far different from the reality.
Roy Keane came in. I had been home a couple of weeks and he actually rang me. He just said it's Roy, and obviously, it being Roy Keane, I didn't presume straight away. So I says to him, Roy who? And he says, you've exactly a day, he said, to get back over here. He said, you've a contract to fulfil.
Come with us now on a journey from grassroots to glory. There's been a huge surge in the numbers playing soccer in County Wexford. The game is thriving at grassroots level. The glory may be just around the corner. A point not lost on Ian Lawler, the PRO for the Wexford and District Schoolboys League.
2001 I became PRO. I know from around 1985, I think it was, there was about 19 teams in the league, and now there's 300 teams. It's after growing that much, and the amount of effort and commitment from coaches in particular, they're actually putting an awful lot more time into the game and developing the young fellas like this. You'll see in this under 11 cup final today, I've seen both teams playing, and the quality of football, it goes back to because the amount of work that the coaches are doing with them, and if it keeps going that way, we're going the right direction. When I was there was no schoolboys, none whatsoever, and we started a street league, shall we say, and the group around Corrish Park. At that time, we were togging out in the side of the road and in the cars, and you were washing yourself on the way back from whatever pool of water you could find. Yeah. So the young fellas of today don't realise how far it's after coming. Yeah. And it's a lot of work on by a lot of club members, and you see the facilities in the clubs, even the way they're after dressing rooms, pitches and everything, and it's only a credit to them all. And
Cup final fever is dominating Wexford at the moment. The under 11 final was an absolute cracker between Clabon and North End United. Clabon manager Shane Murray set the scene.
If you build a team around confidence, you'll achieve what you need to achieve on the pitch. From a training point of view, they listen, they work hard, and they take it on board, and they turn up week in, week out for training, and that's a credit to the parents as well. They're there every week, and you reap the rewards because of that. When kids come in, like you said, some kids come in and they're a little bit quieter than others and a little bit more reserved, and you get to see that blossom over the next couple of years, as they start to achieve things. And and it's not about the winning. It's what they're achieving on the pitch as a group. We've got Shane MacDonald as our captain here today, and Charlie Murray as our captain as well today. So the two boys are, Charlie plays on the right wing or in centre mid, again full of pace, loads of strength going forward, and got an eye for goal as well. Shane Mac is leading in front of goal, knows where the goal is, but can play left side of midfield as well. So,
well, Shane, what's it like? How are the nerves holding up for today?
It's a really good achievement, and the team's brilliant for working there, and we have to keep an eye on the left winger and the whole team basically.
You're a Chelsea fan, Shane?
Yeah.
Happy with the season so far?
Yeah.
And is your manager like Mr. Conte? Does he go up and down the line a bit like him?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Is as combined as him, is he?
Yeah.
Right. So there's a touch of the Antonio Conte about him. What about today's match then? How do you feel?
Nervous, kind of.
That's a good thing.
We think if we play well, we'll beat them. It's 7-a-side. We go probably with 2 in the back, 3 in the mid, and 1 up front.
And how long match is it?
25 minutes aside. 25 minutes aside, yeah.
And you can roll on, roll off subs?
Well, if it's 1-0, this is what he says.
If it's 1-0,
1-0
and 10 minutes to go, we're leaving. We're sticking with the people that are playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we're just going for the cup. Come on!
Their opponents, North End United, are one of the most successful clubs in the country at all age groups. Their under-11 manager, Anthony Redmond, is typical of the spirit of volunteerism in the sporting community.
I've changed my methods over the years and all like that, and basically you try and encourage lads to play with both feet and play good football, and once they put on a good show, as I said, there's people here supporting the day who wants to see a good match, and that's what it should be about anyway. Like.
That's very interesting what you said there. You've changed your methods. In what way have you changed your methods?
Well, I'm nearly 43 years of age. Got pure white hair. When I was younger, I had darker hair. But when you're a young coach, you're always soaking in. You're always listening to other coaches. There's different programs from the FAI and all like that you attend, and you always pick up different tips. You go on, you see get books from Amazon and different coaching methods, and you always pick up, and then you try and develop your own style as well,
And how do you keep expectation at a level?
My view on that is, if they're good enough, the opportunity will arise. Always have ambition with youngsters, and I wouldn't knock that with any of them. But once it's controlled in a controlled kind of way, that it's rooted in a positive way. Kids are there. The main thing is kids are there to enjoy the sport as well as everyone else. And once everyone takes that on board, where it goes from players, coaches, parents, supporters, clubs, and all like that they understand that, like, at the end of the day, they're just a player. Let them enjoy the game, and if they're good enough, the opportunity will come their way.
For every parent that kicked a ball, seeing their child play is a dream come true. But it also brings a range of emotions, as shown here by Dad Adam Doyle.
First cup final at the first attempt of actually getting to one as well, so it's a proud moment for, I suppose, me, the family, and everyone that knows him. For all the boys that have got to the cup final, have put in a good year. So
tell me about the dad-son relationship when it comes to football, because you're a guy who plays football. You still play, don't you?
Yeah, still playing away there, a little bit of Gaelic football. I'll go back to the soccer again now next year. Yeah, it's great. It's something, I suppose, when you have a son, straight away the first thing that pops into your mind is, will he like soccer as much as I did when I was young? And thankfully this one, he's the eldest son of three, so he loves soccer, and hopefully the other two will as well. But no, just seeing him out there enjoying himself, it means a massive amount to me, and proud of him no matter what happens there today.
And what goes through your head when he's playing?
Oh, it's nerve-wracking. You're hoping that he'll go out and play his best, and they actually went to a penalty shootout in the cup semi-final, and he took the last penalty. That was the winning penalty, so that was nerve-wracking. It was one of them moments you don't want to look, but you don't want to miss it either. So. And
what position does he play?
Centre midfield. He always said to me, he wanted to be a goalkeeper like me, but I spent many a cold night standing in the rain in the goal, and I said, no, you've enough talent to play out the field. So.
Yeah. So how do you feel now? We're literally half an hour away from kick-off.
A little bit of butterflies. I think I'm maybe more nervous than he is, but just looking for both teams to have a good game and may the best team win.
And did you relax him before coming up for the match today?
Oh yeah, well he made me bring him down to town and get his cup final haircut down in the Cutthroat Barbers, so he spent a few hours down there with the lads, and the level of coaching that these are receiving at North End is great, and that's all down to the coaches that put in hours upon hours of time throughout the season with him.
When a child enters a sporting environment, each parent wants to know that they are safe. The FAI guidelines are very strong on this, and Schoolboy League Child Liaison Officer Anne-Marie O'Neill tells us why.
Thankfully all the clubs have come on board with the FAI guidelines along with the government guidelines, and they're all Garda vetted. They all have their child welfare courses done, and I have to say all the clubs have been very cooperative, and they really do promote the whole idea of safeguarding.
And now today, your day has started at what time?
I was here at 1:45, so I was here to make sure everyone is greeted and met, and the environment is all set up and safe, and it makes the final even more exciting and memorable for them, so it is.
Yeah, and the sheer volume of people playing football at the moment.
Oh yeah, we were just comparing it last night at the cup final, how many started off originally. We were saying 19 teams, and now we're gone up to 360 odd teams in the league.
Yeah, and when we look at it, say the cup final experience, this is something that these young boys, and there's one or two girls playing here today as well, they'll never forget.
No, they won't. Having had experience of my own young fella playing here years ago, I have to say it's one memory. He's 23 now. He has great memories of scoring here in Bunclody himself. And
what age group was that?
He was under 12 with the Shamrock Rovers. So he was, and he always talks about the day he scored the goal in the final.
And there are concerns from parents. I suppose they ask, will my son or daughter get played? Are they going to be picked on? But you keep a watchful eye on these things, do you?
Oh, do, yeah. And my number is up there on the website, and any phone call, any text, I always make myself available. When possible, I do work as well. But I do attend matches if they have any concerns about, even if they're not happy or any little gripes. They just have to write into us or contact us, and we're there.
And how far can you take this? How far can this football dream? We call this programme Grassroots to Glory. So we all know what the grassroots were like beginning. But now the glory days have really come, haven't they?
Oh, they have, yeah. And I mean, it's great. Like even there last night at our cup final, we had young Conor Livingston at it to watch his brother score in the under-16 cup final. Yeah. So, there's a dream there for every child.
William Doyle is the FAI Regional Development Officer. He's seen the growth of the game in County Wexford. In fact, he benefited from it himself as his career started all those years ago with Gorey Rangers.
When I started, I was a very, very small goalkeeper playing in a very, very big goal under 10. And you look back to those days, and I remember sheep being taken off the pitch in the showgrounds, which was great, to what we have today, and the facilities that have been developed around the county. The amount of players now playing is absolutely phenomenal. Once I got to sort of 8-9 years of age, they realised I wasn't bad outfield when I was playing at my own age group, so I got moved out to centre midfield and got to a couple of cup finals, won a couple of leagues with Gorey Rangers underage, and really loved the experience of playing there.
And how far did that career go eventually, Will?
Well, for myself, I went to play League of Ireland football for 7 seasons and got capped at under 18 schools 2 years in a row, and under 19 international as well. So had quite a nice career for myself as I progressed along.
How would you describe the schoolboy setup in Wexford at that stage?
Oh, I think it was limited. Even when I first started, Gorey Rangers were playing in the Wicklow League because the Wexford League wasn't up and running as well as it could be. Jack Carty was really starting to get the foundations in place, and the phenomenal growth and exponential growth, I suppose you could call it, over the last 25 years has been absolutely fantastic in this county, and the amount of support that's out there for soccer as well is brilliant.
Every little boy, every little girl who plays football at the moment possibly has a dream. They all perhaps want to don the colours of Chelsea or Man U. You don't want to shatter those dreams, but you want to give reality as well, don't you? Yeah, well, you see, everybody has that dream, and every parent probably has that dream for their child, because that could be the big ticket for them, and that's the life made once you hopefully make it as a Premier League footballer. I suppose in the 25, 26 years that I've been involved, we've only been fortunate enough to have one player come through, and that was Kevin. Now, obviously he's had an absolutely fantastic career, but if you look at the probably hundreds, thousands of players that have went through Wexford football in those preceding years and even prior to Kevin, unfortunately they haven't quite made it to the high levels that Kevin made it to. There's been a lot of players come through the different schools and actually go and represent Ireland in the schools competitions. And that strengthens local football massively. Like you look at the success of Wexford CBS this year, they're the second school to ever make it through to an All-Ireland final. Unfortunately, it didn't quite go for them on the day, but it was an absolutely fantastic achievement, and you would hope that they'll go from strength to strength in the coming years under the stewardship of Mr. Nolan and Mr. Whitty in the school. I think the last school was Gorey Community School, who would have had the likes of Conor Livingston, Corey Chambers in that squad, who are all making quite good careers for themselves at the moment. And of course, football is always known as the beautiful game. For you, is it the beautiful game, and if so, why? Oh, it's definitely the beautiful game. I just love the different aspects of it. You get to see young children trying something, doing something miraculous. It might only happen once in their life, but they've done it. That's what makes it beautiful, the smiles on their faces when they achieve something that they've tried to do. South East Radio Sports, Grassroots to Glory. We mentioned earlier the Under-11 Cup Final. It was an absolute cracker. 7 goals, with North End winning by 4-3. Wonderful football, and well controlled by the man in the middle, referee Damien O'Donovan, who spoke to us before the game.
Well, there's always pressure. It's their final, and they look forward to it. And when you consider what effort the clubs have put in over the years, maybe last year on the 10s or whatever the case is, it's their day, and sure, look, wish them the best luck, and we know we're going to have a good game and a very competitive game. And again, I suppose very important to get the message out to parents as well. Parents' expectancy can be fairly strong, and shouting from the sideline and everything like that, it's something that you have to deal with. Yeah, you deal with it, but as the fella says, as long as it's constructive, we don't mind, and as long as it's kept within, that doesn't go over the boundary line, as the fella says, And even at under 11, is there a yellow-red card situation here as well? Oh, certainly are. There certainly are, yes. And look, you'd be hoping that you wouldn't use yellow-red cards, and let's hope we won't have that. We'll try to steer away from them. But a good start for young fellas to get a cup final experience. Absolutely. You only get one chance at basically in under 11, Do we need to have a fast car ready for you, Damien? Well, yeah, Ferrari. All right.
John Godkin is typical of the volunteer within the football world of Wexford. A fine player, a county team manager who guided the county to an All-Ireland Oscar trainer title. A man of vision who also knows that expectation has to be controlled when it comes to football.
I see the background, what's going on at schoolboy level, and I see the effort that goes into it. And a lot of the time it doesn't really get appreciated at any level, but it does at club level for us. And our first team lads will be here to support the kids today because, you know, they're the future of us and maybe even higher things, which we all hope. If you look back over the years, like soccer tradition in Wexford has always been strong. And it was one of the first counties in the whole country that actually made a stance against the old GAA, what we call the old ban years and years ago. So yeah, there's a great tradition in Wexford, and we've always brought great players through, and still are, thank God. When you look at the grassroots, we all talk about the coaches and the people that are putting their time in training the kids, but right in the background there's an awful lot more people who have the ground ready, you know, who are up there to make sure the dressing rooms are open. Small little things, small little details, but if they're not there, you don't have the foundations for a great club.
Expectancy, John, because with a club as successful as North End, you've had lads who have gone on to League of Ireland, you've lads who've been given opportunities cross-channel in Britain, and inevitably some of them come back to you. So there's a psychological aspect to this, and there's this dream that people have, and only very few get it.
The psychological aspect is, Alan, if you treat kids right at the early age and they're looked after, wherever they go they'll come back to where they've really enjoyed themselves. And every player, no matter what level he goes to, will always remember the good days, and that's their very first days. Like the 11-year-olds here today, first cup final. There's 14-year-olds coming out here today. This is the big day for them. Even if they go to Wembley, they'll remember this day.
One of the big successes this year in Wexford was the rise of the Wexford CBS first-year soccer team, managed by Johnny Nolan and head coach Pádraig Whitty. They won the Leinster Cup, the Leinster Champions League, the Wexford Wicklow Regional Cup, and they reached the All-Ireland Schools final.
We started last November, 25th. We met last September to start an indoor soccer tournament to find out who was going to make the squad. And we're still going 14 matches later. We entered the Wicklow Wexford League initially, where we were guaranteed 3 matches, which we managed to win those 3 matches, and we got to the final against Arklow. We won that, and that qualified us for the Leinster Champions League, where we've since won the quarter-final and semi-final of that. And we also entered the Leinster Cup, where we've had 6 matches, 6 rounds to get to the final, which we won 2-0 against Boyne, and we are now won the semi-final last Thursday.
These are really good days for Wexford CBS.
Very exciting times for the school at the moment. We've been at this project for soccer for 20 odd years.
And Pádraig, just talk a little bit about the importance of schoolboy football. Yeah. But where does this competition rank amongst the FAIs on the FAI's agenda? How highly rated is it?
Oh, it's very highly rated actually. Even at the semi-final there, the last day, the lads weren't probably aware of this, but there was a Scout Free Irish team there, and there'll be something like that again the next time. So they're always kind of looking at the schoolboy soccer as a good kind of mix of different clubs and stuff, and we always have League of Ireland fellas, and so the standard is very high. And just in my few years here, we'll see that all the time as well. Even in the Wicklow Wexford League, winning Wicklow Wexford is actually quite difficult.
My captain, Callum, centre back.
It's great to play with the school, and all the lads are a great team, and they all play for each other. All the trophies we've gone for so far, and we haven't lost any matches, so hopefully we can keep doing that. Now we're all great together, we never give out to each other, and we all play for each other. We play our best.
Yep. Keane Roach, you're the goalkeeper and you're with Wexford Celtic. What's it like for you between the sticks playing for this team?
It's good. Good defenders in the back line. They're all doing their jobs well. Hopefully they'll keep doing it.
Owen Hartigan, you're also on the Kennedy Cup team this year, the Kennedy Cup squad.
Yeah, you just try and put in your best for the team and then see what happens.
Now, we're in the CBS, we're in the Christian Brothers, so would you regard yourself as a band of brothers?
Oh yeah, totally.
What's the buzz like in the school here, Aaron?
Yeah, it's brilliant. We have to go out and play, as we always do. And if we play as well, we can't beat anyone in the country. So 25
goals this season?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have one goal if it hasn't been for the lads.
So it's very much a team game?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
For a game to thrive, it has to be rooted in all areas of the community. The All Blacks are based in rural Wexford, and for them it's been a remarkable year, as described by die-hard All Blacks man Trevor Rankin.
It's been a great year so far in the club. We've won under 10 girls, under 12 girls, and we've won under 13 boys, and we're not finished yet because our girls have one league game left to force the playoff in the under 14 girls, so hopefully we might have one more to come.
And when you broaden it then to what soccer means within the county, There's two teams playing behind me here, and they're nothing to do with the All Blacks.
No, I suppose that's the beauty of the ground we have. We were asked to host the Division 2 playoff in under 12 there between Fastnet Rovers and Barntown, and I suppose it's the facility that we have here is the reason why we have games like that. And we get many a county game here as well, and we're very proud of our grounds here. This is Niall O'Callaghan. Niall is the secretary.
It's all about keeping fit and community, and our overall strategy and development of the facilities would be to aim to maybe have a community room inside, so that families, when they're here attending a game, they can have a bit of comfort in the chat and get to know people, and that's where we'll develop the loyalty in the club.
Luke Farr.
Describe what playing for the All Blacks is like.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Brilliant, because such a great atmosphere. We all know each other, we all link up well, it just all fits in together.
So do you watch football a lot then?
Yeah.
And who do you study? What do you study? What position do you play?
Left back.
Alright, and who would your favourite left back be at the moment?
Marcelo. He just he shows that not all left backs have to be that safe kind of John O'Shea kind of player, just get it out.
Okay. And I'm just saying, like, nowadays, like Trevor and myself, when we were playing football, we didn't know CDMs from CAMs. CDM is what?
Centre defensive midfielder.
And CAM is what?
Centre attacking midfielder.
And the activities that we have to engage in from the club, and particularly, I suppose, in light of negative publicity for all field sports, trying to ensure that off-field discipline in terms of parents' conduct versus players' conduct, it all is team building and a role and responsibility for any club. And thankfully, we've had a great spirit here in the organisation. That is the ultimate goal, to ensure that the happiness on the field is reciprocated on the sideline.
And so, what if the dream comes true? What if the call comes to go to the promised land of cross-channel football? It happened for Paul Spot Murphy, a schoolboy star with Wexford Albion, spotted playing locally, capped at underage level by Ireland, 18 trials at clubs in Britain, and a contract offer from Ipswich Town. But the dream soon became a nightmare. He tells us why.
I moved over when I was 15, just after my junior start. It was actually the night of the World Cup final where Zidane headbutt Materazzi. It was the 1st of July. We're in around that time anyway, and the next morning we were in for pre-season.
Did you settle?
No, I didn't, and to be honest, I never did. There was some times where I had good weeks, but the home was always the main problem that I had when I was away.
You were homesick?
Yeah, majorly. And in fairness to the club, they did give me special privileges, to be honest. A lot of the academy were English boys, so they were travelling home the weekends. There was very little of the way of actually communicating. I stuck it out for a couple of years. I was a regular in the reserve team, and to be honest, the further I was going, the more homesick I was getting, because it came to the stage then where I was actually doing well on the football side of things, but I was going home at 12 o'clock in the day, because you only trained once. The youth team trained twice a day. Go to school on a Wednesday, but the reserve team, we only trained once every morning. Jim Gilton was the manager for the years I was there, and just as I kind of decided that I was going to go home, Jim actually got the sack, and Roy Keane came in. I had been home a couple of weeks, and he actually rang the house phone. So I didn't know who it was. I answered the phone, obviously a strong Cork accent. He just said it's Roy, and obviously, you know, it being Roy Keane, I didn't presume straight away. So I says to him, Roy who? And he says, you've exactly a day, he said, to get back over here. He said you've a contract to fulfil. So there was no niceties, and I actually respected him for when I went back over. I went back to the training ground 2 or 3 days later. They arranged a flight. Someone picked me up from the airport, went back to the training ground, and he just sat me down in his office. He said, look, Paul, he said, I've heard that you could be in the first team easily. He said, if you had your mind right, he said, but do you want to be here? And I said, look, obviously, you know, he's a big hero to every kid growing up in Ireland. And I said, but I don't. And I said, I don't want to waste your time. And he just said to me, look, he said, honesty is the best way to go about it. And they got me a flight back home, and that was it.
Do you regret it?
Never. There was never one day I woke up and thought to myself, what did I do? And not for football reasons, not for financial reasons, just for pure happiness.
For one young Wexford man, the dream has just begun. Conor Livingston from Gorey is on the threshold of success with Wolverhampton Wanderers. He's already been capped at underage level by Ireland.
I started off here in Gorey Rangers schoolboys, here in Gorey, my local club.
and from the age of 4 or 5, and working with Hoxie Travers, just sadly passed away there last year, and then I got a lucky break, then got over to Wolves for a trial. The rest is history, I suppose. The Wolves scout in Ireland, Willie Byrne, he was watching me for a while, playing with county teams and the likes, and I think he dropped down to Gorey a couple of times to watch me play, and he brought me over. He picked me for the Hibernia Cup up in St. Joseph's, and I played in there, done alright, and he asked me back over for a trial the next week, I think it was, and then I done alright there, came back again about 2 or 3 months later, and then signed in January of 2013. They told me they were going to offer me a contract, so happy days. And I was going from playing hurling with Nevena, like the Féiles, and then Kennedy Cup. Everything kind of just happened in the space of 5 or 6 months.
And were you in the community school here in Gorey?
Yeah, hurling and football and soccer there as well. So
when you went across to Wolverhampton, to Molyneux for the first time, what was it like?
It was unbelievable, like coming from a small town like Gorey and to go over there, and it was my first proper real taste of professional football and what it'd be like, and it was amazing, a bit surreal. For the last season I've been playing under 23s, and I'll be there again next year, so just trying to work my way up, and I've worked my way up from 16s to 18s, and now from 18s to 23s the last year, so just want to keep knocking on the door and hopefully get a chance in the first team in the next year or two. Been offered a new contract this year, so I got a year contract and then a year's option on that as well, so hopefully I do well and sign another one then.
How do you cope with the periods of inactivity that obviously happen? Or is your day full?
No, the day is definitely not full. I'll be in at 9 o'clock, and like you could be home then for 1:30, and then you have the whole rest of the day to keep yourself busy. But I'm a bit of a weirdo. I like my own company, so I'd sit there and watch telly, or like when the weather's nice I'd go out with a few of the lads and play a bit of golf or play a bit of pool, snooker, things like that.
And there's a very rosy picture painted about what the life of a professional footballer is like. Is that the reality, or is it somewhat different?
I think it's a lot different. People think it's nice and rosy, but once they experience it, they wouldn't think that. I think it's only rosy at the top, like the lads earning hundreds of thousands a week, but like for the lads that are trying to scrape a living down in the likes of League 2 and League 1, it can be tough, like, and it's a cutthroat business. Like a lad comes in and takes your place, and then you're out of a job then, and that's just the reality of it, really.
And before we left Collar Livingston, Wexford's latest recruit to the professional ranks, he said the positives far outweigh the negatives.
There's never been a better time to be a young Irish footballer with the way the League of Ireland are developing at the minute, and I just say my one piece of advice would be just get your head down, keep enjoying it, and that's about it really. Just work hard.
Football, the beautiful game, our hopes, our dreams. The reality may be different, but there's no doubt the game in Wexford from very humble beginnings is thriving. The glory may not just be around the corner. The glory is already here, from the enjoyment and pleasure it brings to so many. Dream on.